Okay, recording this video Thursday 12th of December 2013. It's just coming up to 11:53 a.m. Chicago time, just getting this video out. What an exciting couple of days. I think we're down about 45 points in 2.5 days. Just extraordinary. I hope you got on board some trend moves over the last couple of days and made some good money. And it's rollover happening at the moment, so we're moving from the December contract to the March contract. And for whatever reason, TradeStation, this kind of time around, rollover happens every quarter. This one has been unbelievably frustrating. The chart's not kind of refreshing correctly and so on. You'll note here that I'm putting out the at ESZ13 contract here. What I'm finding is on rollover date, all the volume's supposed to move to the new contract, but it really doesn't, not until the next day. They were still trading the old one, so that's what I was doing today. But you'll just notice on my charts I'm using this as the best symbol to kind of get up-to-date numbers for what the Emini is doing. Now, just before just looking at the Emini charts, this finally, everybody's been telling me to get the hell out of crude. Finally, I got out of crude 2 days ago, 98.5. I was waiting for a bounce back into this pullback level in a downtrend, kind of went off. So that was, the loss for me is about 6% after brokerage on that. Wasn't, I mean, I didn't put that much money into it, but it was a trade that went against me very quickly, and I should have just got out and with a lot smaller of a loss than that. But anyway, the reason why it rolled around was we had, a classic on the daily chart, classic kind of turning over pattern here, pullback to end of trend. We had exhaustion on a left shoulder and bearish divergence, amateur bars kind of reaching to the highs. Then we put in our flush patterns, and look at that spike, blue professional bar at 110, and it collapses after that. As soon as we're through support here, we're falling into a downtrend. Now we're kind of making the right noises in order to bottom this thing out and maybe kind of go the other way. We'll wait and see. The commitment of traders is still kind of positioned correctly for a rally in crude. I still have a long-term, kind of bullish view on crude. I think the days of $20 or $40 oil are over. We're going to be looking in the hundreds for the foreseeable future. But the chart so far has not kind of bottomed out yet. So just wait and see. It was a good call from 98 to 108. This kind of sequence here for that kind of pop. I know some people made some good money on that one, but just to let everyone know, I'm out of crude for the time being. Now, Aussie dollar, said this thing was going to get creamed, and look at this. The reason for pulling up this chart, this is daily and weekly chart again. Amateur up bars here. Just be really careful. Yes, we've had exhaustion on the way down, but the amateurs think, it's a double bottom, good value at 90 cents or whatever, kind of buy these couple of days here. No, just get destroyed in the last couple of days. We're down 3 cents in 2 days, which is extraordinary. And it's not over until we see exhaustion on a left shoulder, blue professional bars kind of coming, all that good stuff. So this thing's got to wrap around, resistance to support and so on. And on the daily chart, we've got to make pullback to end of trend. We're below support. We've got to make a trend, complete trend move. We'll pull back to end of trend. So it's good for me. There's a lot of people, Australians who subscribe to the site. So apologize for kind of liking this activity. They don't, but anyway, it's good for tourism, at least in Australia. Gold and silver, same deal, destroyed the last couple of days. Now again, interesting around this 1200 level on gold. I've been saying, we're going pullback to end of trend on the weekly chart. Potentially this is a flush pattern. 1200 is a really kind of critical level. If we fall through that, nastily, and the volume kind of comes back in and it gets kind of destroyed on the way down, that's a scenario. The question is whether we'll just spike below it and kind of hold. We've still got to make pullback to end of trend on the daily chart. So there's plenty of time, and we've not seen that exhaustion selling. That was a flush pattern there. We've done all this kind of move down on the downside. I wonder if once we drop through 1200 we get a real sell down in terms of selling volume kind of comes in. Maybe a spike reversal comes back from that, but again, it's early days. We've got to see that kind of play out. This was interesting again. Led that little rally, 2-day rally, led by the amateurs. No, support becomes resistance. We bounce off that, bang. So we're back to 1200. And then the news today, seeing Eric Sprott, billionaire, I think it's Canadian kind of gold fund, so on, with the withdrawals doing kind of nastily at the moment. So it's interesting that we're at that level that whether we kind of crash through. I'm expecting that volume to kind of come in. Whether that's what we need to flush everybody out to put a bottom in this, I'm not sure, but let's kind of see. Silver, same deal. We're below support. It's got to make pullback to trend again. This little rally, 2-day rally, led by an amateur up bar. It's weak when it does that, and then pullback to trend is kind of going off. Maybe a flush pattern. We got at least some exhaustion on a left shoulder here on the silver chart, but again, it's got to make pullback to end of trend. So, and that's that $19 kind of critical level. So, anyway, I think hopefully I've been kind of consistent on all these charts, just saying that that they are. Don't get fooled into buying gold and silver or Aussie dollar or whatever. Anyway, long-term chart on the E-mini, and let's just see. I can't pull up my daily chart because my data's screwed, but anyway, what it shows is on this left shoulder we had a whole bunch of Rambo patterns and no demand up here, and then when we came back again we had no demand up here, and it just shows at tops, cyclical highs and lows. I think you do get you definitely get exhaustion selling on a downside on these big time frame charts, and I think you do kind of on the daily and weekly charts have exhaustion buying, but on the way up we can always just end up with no demands and have changes in trend from no demands on these kind of daily time frame charts. This one, it was interesting. Exhaustion on a left shoulder, bearish divergence comes in very close to the zero line. I say wait for the flush, and the flush comes a week and a half, whatever, 2 weeks later, after us putting in this down move. For me, what's interesting on the 13,500, so on this lower time frame, and I said on the weekly chart, we were putting in these pullback to end of trends on left shoulders when I was talking about head and shoulder patterns. We put in all this good stuff, pullback to end of trend, exhaustion, bearish divergence, Rambo patterns right up there, getting it wrong, breaking through support, bang, and that's led us into this down move. Now, the sell down here with the exhaustion pattern, that's just getting us going. I think we've got to see something kind of similar to that to bottom this thing. We've definitely got blue professional bars coming down here in the 1770s on the 40,500. It's not one yet, but this has still got to make pullback to end of trend. 13,000 still got to make pullback to end of trend. So today's activity, we had a great day yesterday where it just fell off the cliff and just kind of kept going. Today we knew the bottom was not in because we had not seen exhaustion selling during the full liquidity of the day. So here we go. I think there was an employment out kind of pre-open. That was blue professional bars into exhaustion, bearish divergence, bang, we roll over. We're in a downtrend. We know this thing that it looks like it wants to catch. There's a couple of places where the professionals kind of come in, try and catch it here. That's falling through the eyes here. But because we had not seen exhaustion selling until here, we know the thing is not over. So I was actually out. I got to my trading desk an hour late because we had such a big day yesterday. I was expecting a small day today. So my first trade was to get short into 78.29, and that was around here. I was trying to take advantage of this kind of rollover here, but that didn't work out. As soon as we had this little amateur down bar here, we wanted to break up, so got out of that and made two points on the way back here into an exhaustion pattern. Then a series of short moves. We had some kind of significant strength at various points, but because we'd not seen this, I just became more and more convinced that the downside was not in. So what was I was getting short at 79.29 the first one, then 77.25 the second one, and the third one was 75.25, each of which was good for a couple of points each. So I had a nice day. But that's the lesson from today. The downtrend is not in until we see exhaustion selling. It needs to mirror all the professionals and the activity that was getting short at that top needs to reverse out and take profits down here. So that's what we're looking for, that kind of symmetry in the market, the exhaustion patterns here and here. And this one halfway along the way just shows that that's unstable. That's not going to work out, and we kind of go through here into the blue professional bars kind of coming in at the lows. It's not a neat little pullback to end of trend today, but still good trading just to know to take advantage of the any spike ups waiting for that sell off there. Anyway, so there we go. I might tag on one of those kind of later trades, but yeah, I don't know what it's going to do. I think long term, I still think we've got to see exhaustion pattern on a left shoulder, because on 13,000 we've not seen something to mirror the kind of the selling down volume here early on in the piece, kind of coming in at the very bottoms and pull back to end of trend. So, you know, the evidence would suggest that we've still got, you know, some lows to be tested. So I hope your trading is going well, and looking forward to the end of the week. Just got short 75.25, short 75.25. Just checking stops and targets. Now, I was in this short trade and got out with a quarter-point gain. And I am chasing this down. There's this amateur bars and Rambo patterns here, but we're not seeing exhaustion selling on the downside, and we've got this support in. It was a double bottom of 75.25 here, but we've got to see something like that. It's just, you know, all these blue professional bars kind of came in, but just doesn't seem like it wants to reverse yet. So break through this will take us into a really strong downtrend, because it below supports on 15 and 45. So it's worth a go. Short 525. Alright, we got the break to 74. Excellent. Blue professional, this is a triple. Breaking support 500, 15, 4500. Blue professional bars on these ones is good. So 125 is the target, which is a long way away. But what I'm looking for is that exhaustion selling on a left shoulder. So now we've gone through. This is like a bit. They tried to make it a double bottom and failed. So this was about 9,000. So we're at 6 at the moment. So let's see. And we're in downtrends on 500. So it's got to run pullback to end of trend. All of a sudden, people are saying, "Whoops!" So come on, let's get to 325. So exhaustion here. There's 9,000. So maybe it's not going to travel as much as I hoped, but let's see. That was just falling through the ice. In terms of higher time frames, I don't think there's anything particularly of interest. Ooh, there we go. Let's get to 2s. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, we've got a bit of a runner, so 125 is my target. We've got 11,000 down here. Another blue professional bar come in. So we're almost at 225. So let's just keep it where it is. See if we get lucky. 72 even. Out 72 even, just for 3 1/4. And yeah, coming out a little bit too early, I think. But pro signal exit's gone off 1500. That was a big reading. It was about 14,000. And that was just a little Rambo pattern there. So sometimes we have little bounces from there. It's got to go pull back to end of trend. Yeah, it's coming down through. So it'll probably hit my target at 125, but I'm happy with that. It's been a decent day. Late start for me, but it's worked out well, and that's what I was looking for. This thing's not going to be over until the exhaustion pattern comes in. It's coming. Excellent.